tutorial, PHP tutorial 5 part 2. I should have said in the last video, I know that we're calling this file loops.php and said that this tutorial 5 is on loops, but we discussed in the last video if statements and else statements. I know they're not really loops, but they do come under control structures. So I guess we should have called this, rather than call this tutorial loops, we should have called it loops and control structures. So apologise for that. So the first loop that we're going to look at is the for loop. Now, I like to think of, when I think about for loops, I like to say that the for loop is equal to an ICI loop. Now, the reason I think of it as an ICI loop is the first part of a for loop is initialization. So you take a variable I and you initialize it to 0. And then the next part, the C part, is the condition. So the condition is going to be I less than or equal to 10, we'll say. We'll just say 10 here and we'll make this 1. I'm trying to create a for loop that repeats 10 times. And then the last part is iteration. So we're saying count I up in values of 1. So, and then we'll put our, my mistake, then we'll put our, sorry, there's some problems with my keyboard still, we'll put our for loop here. So then what we do is we then echo out the value of I and we append it with a line break. So let's see roughly how we get on with that. Let's save that. Oh, my mistake. And let's reload our loops file. Yep, it goes 1 to 9 at the minute, so we'll make that 0. Let's save this. Yep. Okay, sorry, wait. It should be equal to mistake. Okay, so it goes up to 10. Perfect. Brilliant. So that's for loops, really. The next type of loop that we could really look at is a do-while loop. Now, a do-while loop has the advantages. Most loops will only iterate even once. For any loop in PHP to iterate even once, usually the condition has to be true. For example, if you've got a while loop which is while I is less than j, that loop will only iterate even one time if I is indeed less than j. You have to get the condition to run true. But what if you just wanted a loop that executed once and then only continued to run if the condition was true? Well, that's where you have a do-while loop. So you have do, and you put in the do-while loop what you want to execute. So we'll say I equal to 0. We'll say in here echo I, and we'll append it with a line break, and then we'll say while I is greater than 10. So obviously the condition will fail. So this loop should only do the do part. It should only run once. So it should just really print out I equal to 0. So let's save that. Yeah, it only runs the once and it prints out I equal to 0. So that's exactly what we thought was going to happen. So this gives us an example that even if the condition fails, the loop can run once. You might not want it to be like a traditional loop where the loop will only run even for the loop to run just one time, the condition has to be true. You might want a loop that runs at least once without the condition being true. So we could then change this. We could then do something to make the condition true. We could say I starts off at 20, and then we could say I and the minus. So take away in values, count down, and I should count down from 20 to 10. So let's try that. So 20, 19, 18, yeah, so it counts down from 20 to 10. Should say that this I followed by the double takeaway sign means deduct one value of I each time the loop iterates. So that's a do while loop. Next type of loop we could do is basically a for each loop, which is a loop that's designed to loop through an array. So we could say that we've got an array called Ben, and we could put the things that Ben likes in the array. We could say that Ben likes milk. We could say that Ben likes his brothers. And Ben likes music. So if we wanted to look through our array, what we could do is we could say for each iteration of Ben as likes echo likes, and then append it with a line break. Brilliant. So that's our do while. So let's do this. Milk Brothers music. So that's an example of a for each loop that basically cycles through an array. And that brings us to the end of our tutorial. So thank you for watching these two videos, PHP Tutorial 5, Loops and Control Structures Part 1 and 2. Okay, thank you very much.